We are so excited about today. Everyone here is making history. This, believe it or not, is the very first Cart Intercol in the world.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh, get up, get up, get up, get up.
With the links.
Somebody wake me up 4 o'clock.
Are we being recorded, sir?
Crash video.
We?
Independent.
That was up at 4:50.
That was permission.
450 or 440?
All three he got.
Sometime in 4 in the morning. Yes. And he didn't wake up. There's one alarm. Everybody else wake up. Different alarms.
And then he wakes up again at 5.
Who's it?
I know my phone went to say, so I
Turn on all the lights in the room.
Yeah.
the power.
Highlights.
I was just fine there for the video.
So what we're doing basically is we're sharing our experience with a competition called Cart Intercol. Right? It's basically an academic competition, but we kind of couch it in the fun part, which is racing. Right? And this team, these kids are up here to share their experience, both with what they learned as well as, well, the fun part of it. Yeah? How it is, there's two components. There's a written part that accounts for 60 to 65% of your overall score. And then there's the actual, what we call test and tune, or the box cart racing, right? Which is kind of the most fun, at least for me it is. So that's where we're about. And this is not about me or even the competition, but about the experiences at your level. I want you guys to ask the questions. Parents, teachers, curb your enthusiasm. This is about them sharing, right? I have to do it all the time, so don't feel I'm picking on you all, okay? And that would be it. I don't know who's going to be the lead from the team, Northgate College. Oh, by the way, guys from the US, when we say college in Trinidad, it doesn't necessarily mean university level stuff. College is high school, basically. And a lot of, these phrases that beats up. So don't feel that they're that much above you or below you. It's just a different name for the same thing and the same place where you guys are. Cool? You have any other quick questions for me before I hand over? Everybody understand what I'm saying? You're cool with the big fish. Trinidadian accent. Yeah, big head, boomy voice guy talking to you, you're good. Alright, good. So I'm handing over to... You can laugh, it's fine, it's fine. Hey, I do have a big head and I do have a boomy voice, so it's fine. Right?
We are Northgate College and a high school from Trinidad and Tobago, and we took part in a box cart racing competition and we came on top. My name is Osei Brown. I am in grade 10 in your country. That is Form 5 in my country. I was a part of the pit crew for this team.
Hi, I'm Casey McGee. I'm in 6th grade, but before Form 1 in Trinidad. I was driving when we won the box challenge.
Hi, my name is Robert Butati. I'm in 8th grade, also known as Form 3 in our country. And I was something like a co-pilot to Casey.
Hi, my name is Kabir Singh. I'm in Form 4 or grade 9 here, and I was a part of the pit crew. My name is Joel Boyd. I am a Form 4 with Kabir, grade 9.
And I was the victor.
Alright, now that you got to meet the team, we'll talk about the history of boxcart. Does everyone know what a boxcart is? Well, in your case, a boxcart would be a bobsled with wheels. Boxcarts in our country were used to take water back to communities because some areas didn't have water. And in the boomers' age, they like to have fun. Kids and teens like to have fun racing down hills and materials. The materials that they used consisted of wood because it was easily accessible, especially after houses were made. Ball bearings from old broken down trucks and construction stuff, and rope.
So what is gravity racing? Gravity racing essentially is the racing of vehicles that do not have pedals or motors. Gravity races occur on a downhill road either against a clock or competitors, which in our case, we were racing against competitors on a ramp while also being timed.
We wanted to maximize speed and momentum, which is how it was a ramp and then a straight. So we wanted to see how fast we can go on pick up as much speed on the ramp, and then how long we could keep it going on the straight. We wanted to maximize our payload or our mass to go as fast as possible without having too much that it began to slow us down. Like everybody else there, we wanted to win. So some physics considerations. We was firstly potential energy. Anyone knows what potential energy is? What is it?
So it's not the energy you have in motion, but the energy you have when you're in motion, the more you can use, the faster you go.
That's pretty much it. But as like a simplified version, we just have potential energy. It's energy that's
As Joel stated before, potential energy is stored energy. He also said potential energy is basically the gas tank for a car, or the fuel is a mass, which is used to propel the car. Likewise, we use potential energy in the form of translational kinetic energy, which is essentially the energy used to straight or forward within a linear path.
And then we came to race day. On race day, we got there early that morning. We looked at all the other cars that were there that day, and in some cases, I personally felt intimidated. But as the races went on, from a test race led to another race, and to another race, and soon we won. But on that day, we had a crash.
So I don't know if you saw it in the video, but our back right wheel actually broke in half. So all the spokes on the inside, we used bike wheels, and all the spokes snapped. So the wheel bent in half and we weren't able to use it again. We didn't have any spares, but Mr. Critchlow was willing to lend us one of his wheels, and we were able to finish our races with that wheel.
The entire process was kind of challenging and time consuming, in which we had to sacrifice our Christmas vacation to complete it. But it wasn't all about it. We took some breaks and played football or soccer. And that, our hard work and dedication led us to the win, which led us to you guys. On behalf of the entire team and the teachers, we'd like to thank you all for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.
Alright, Mr. Robinson, yes, Mr. Robinson.
So what was the root cause of the crash? And how did you guys
Well,
prevent
the
that from
steering, we were using a rope steering system, so it got jammed. And then one of our wheels wasn't as good as the others. So
no, like okay. And then the wheel defect was that like you just got two separate wheels?
no,
that...
one of the wheel was older than the rest.
Oh, okay, got it.
Resting.
it was missing some spokes as well.
So who's in charge of quality and checks?
Quality control, quality.
No hands, huh?
So if you guys were to learn more about metalworking, would you ever consider like a lighter metal frame over a wood frame and then maybe wood paneling? Would you be
That's exactly what we did.
So
What was that question, Rohan?
the reason
What was that question?
If they would ever consider like a lighter metal frame over a wooden frame?
the reason we used wood instead of metal and you said it was lighter, is because we needed the more mass.
Did you guys have a braking system?
Yeah.
How did it work?
Like a lever.
So
Yeah, it was like a
We
lever.
just-
Good observation. Yeah, initially, yeah, I was in charge of the braking. It was just a lever, and at the end of the lever, it had a piece of wood, and we tied some rubber around that wood. Yeah, so you just push it, and it would hit. Yeah, it would rub against the tire to create friction to slow it down and stop it.
What was the overall budget of the
I think it was
project?
It was 1,000 TT, which would be around 100 US. No, 150 US.
I'll ask a real revealing question. Who can tell us where Trinidad is? He's our international student. He would know. Let's look. Oh, Wyatt, yes.
The Caribbean?
Yes. Where? What's it near? All right, Zuriel.
You went through Recite Bully's class.
like
You should know where it is.
Almost right next to Venezuela.
That's
Really close, right? Yeah. So it's like the bottom of that archipelago?
That's correct. Yeah, archipelago.
Okay. All right, so we're talking about engineering, right? So big things that come up in engineering are constraints, right? Trade-offs. You guys want to speak to those two topics maybe to help these guys understand?
So, for constraints, maybe because, well, talking about constraints, there was actually a constraint on the amount of mass we could put in, the size of wheels we could put in. When we were talking about constraints, we had to try and find try and maximize what we could do with those constraints and find a way to use it the best we could.
Do you have a time constraint?
We did. We had to get along with the build, we also had to do a write-up on it, and that was due a few weeks before the
Actual.
race day.
Yeah, you had a question?
I was gonna ask what the write-up was. Like, what was it about?
We'll do SPs.
No.
These assessments.
The write-up basically is what you read. In other words, it's a portfolio. It's a written documentation that records, the results that they got from their testing, the materials that they use, the team composition. So I think you would have probably, I'm not sure if you got a chance to look at it, but the portfolio that Mr. Ports would have had you take a look at is the write-up. So yeah, it's the same. It's just different jargon, different language. But
that was your portfolio?
That was their portfolio. That was the portfolio that they produced.
Yeah, I thought that came from the organizers of the event.
No, sir. That's what they
Those
produced.
kids. So just to add context, guys, what it is basically a written or documented process of your observations. So going through the entire process, they encountered this problem, this is how they solved it, but they mark it down, they record it.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of things get done in engineering, so that the next team or the next time they do it, they have a reference as to what worked, what didn't work. But what we were looking for as part of the organizers was we wanted to see the thought process behind it. One of the things, and I don't mean to steal thunder, that was mentioned, and I remember it when I was creating the portfolio, is they use old stuff. They didn't go out and buy everything new. They got stuff that was just hanging around somebody's yard and say, okay, we will use this. Hence the wheel with missing spokes and stuff like that, right? So again, to add to answering the question, Mr. Ports, is those are some of the constraints that they dealt with, but they overcome because of the portfolio already. You've seen the process where they try different things, they got different results that led to their decision and their final design. And that is also graded, by the way. Remember that written part that they didn't like a whole lot, that nobody liked actually, contributed to 65% of the overall score.
What were you trying to win? Like, what was the prize?
Original free incident for our school.
I didn't even know that. We were just winning to win at first.
So we didn't know the price of that.
Bragging
Yeah, we just wanted to win.
Just wanted to win.
So we could come here.
Bragging rights. And then we found out about, what did we find the prizes were?
Free internet, the trophies,
And then free flight to
Yeah.
And then a trip to visit you all.
I think
Can I just say, I think for the team, one of our big takeaways was seeing the physics come to life. So I think different schools would have focused on different things. For example, if you had a school with technical vocational skills, probably they would have focused more on the TD drawing or on actual drawing of the plans and things like that. That is not one of the emphases of our particular school. So for us, we got to see potential energy coming to life. We got to see where potential energy went, where potential energy could be lost. We saw very, very clearly inside of this process the importance of the distribution of mass inside of a structure to help you to get something to go as quickly as possible.
You want to talk about trade-offs. So basically, we had two teams. There's a car at the top right.
Yes, you want me to show them? I can show them.
Yeah, those two teams they're both from the same school, and we basically built those two cards and portfolios alongside each other. So they're just one big team. So when we got materials, it was kind of materials for everybody. So we had wheels and wheels. Some would get these wheels, some would get these wheels, and some wheels were worse than others. One team would get worse wheels, one team would get better wheels and materials. And so it was not everybody got it wasn't prioritized to one team. So some teams have to make some trade-offs and get from the lesser or the not as good materials, and some teams will get the better ones.
Did you guys get the higher end of materials or the lower end?
Between the two
We got the higher end.
We did? Yeah, we did. Oh yeah. But except for that one.
Except for that one.
It was really good sharing to have an international group come in and work with our students, talk about the things that they do with respect to engineering and technology, and see some of the overlapping and how there's key principles that are universal. The group was extremely well spoken and their presentation was well done. I love to see the students talking. It would have been great to have met together, maybe in an informal basis, and just have the students just kind of interacting with each other. That would have been very good too. I'm sorry the time was so limited, but it was a really good presentation, and I applaud the leaders and the parents, the teachers, because they've done a great job with these students.
All right, so Mr. Robinson here with Gravity Racing Association. I had the opportunity to sit in on the kids' presentation yesterday at the Weiss School. I was impressed with the level of details and just overall their enthusiasm about science, technology, and the overall engineering side of things. I'll tell you that these kids have a lot of potential, and we just have to tap into it and get them all the resources they need. As you can see, even though they came in first, they even took time to talk about the crash, so the misses. So it shows that level of detail where they have that zen to want to improve continuously. So a lot more work to do here. We just have to nurture them, encourage them, and most importantly, support them any way you can, financially for sure, and even just, as you talk to them. I would say, as far as them coming here, it was such an enlightening story to the extent they didn't realize what the present was going to be or what the prize would be to actually travel to America. So for them to have put in that level of work, not knowing that this was going to be the prize, I think it speaks volume to their character and just overall how invested they were into this project. So I looked at the videos of the cards, they look really good. They talk about some of the constraints when they had to share the resources, the different parts, but I can tell you next year, look out for bigger and better things from these kids because they have that potential. I would just have to encourage them to tap deeper into it.
So at the Weiss School, we saw children just slightly younger than myself learning about something that would happen in Trinidad, learning about box carts, and actually interested. It really seemed like they were interested. It wasn't something that they just said, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna hear them. It actually seemed like they were interested in learning and hearing what we had to say. And that was cool. My only regret is if we could have been a little more, less blocky and formal, more chatting and more actually, yeah, that would have been what I would have liked. But it was good. I like seeing the enthusiasm. It wasn't like prominent, but I saw it because yeah, I saw it. I saw the enthusiasm.
I thought it was gonna be more formal, but I was glad it wasn't. So where they asked questions about the Caribbean and box carts and what happened, and answering them. Answering them was fun. It was nice to express a bit of the Caribbean to people who don't know. So it was nice to get a mutual understanding so that you know that what you're presenting is going through to them.
At the Weiss School, I was a little bit nervous, but nerves are good. It shows that you care about what you're doing. So getting there and presenting for the kids, it was nice. Getting to see all our hard work come to fruition. So although at the Weiss, I think it would have been nice to see their side of their school and what they do. So I know we were in the engineering classroom to be able to see the different things that they would have built. So I remember seeing a Lego I think crane, to be able to, for them to explain what they do in their classes and the different competitions that they do inside of engineering or inside of their different fields would be pretty cool.
It was also great because I was expecting a bigger audience, so it was quite simple and it was fun. Like talking with other people my age or younger or older. And yeah, they also sparked new ideas in us.
I valued our kids getting a chance to present to kids their age. I valued the kids getting a chance to see other children seeing the interest in what they did. But I particularly enjoyed the Q&A session when the momentum started to build up and you could see the kids were really starting to get interested about what this thing really was. So from a teaching point of view, the aspect of it that I enjoyed was the students getting a chance to learn from each other. As a teacher, we love peer learning. As a teacher, you love kids speaking to kids. They learn a lot from each other. So as a teacher, that was one of I particularly liked that.